Hey guys, it's Jason with your Hopium-Free crypto channel. Today we got more crypto news, lots of stuff on Ethereum. We've got Dogecoin hitting Saturday Night Live tonight with bets on it to see whether we're going to get to $1 by Monday. Also got another cryptocurrency I want to have a look at today, which we've featured on the channel before, where I think maybe some of these Dogecoin profits are going to spin into. At least the chart looks like it's setting up for it, and it is very well known to go well with retail investors. So before we get started, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. There's about 40% of you who are watching the videos unsubscribed. Hit that bell notification icon so you can be updated with the content. Plus, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. We just hit 10,000 on each of those, nearly there on Instagram. And I'm doing Q&As daily on Instagram and a lot of news updates on Twitter. So if you're not following them, be sure to do that because there's a ton of crypto news that you're missing out on over there. All right, let's dive into the news. Thanks guys for your support. We're at 136,000, blasted through 130. We're on our way to 140 and then hopefully 150 by the end of May. You guys are doing fantastic, and you Cardano followers, lovers, preachers are enjoying these videos. So I thank you very much for you guys. If you've just come across in these last couple of Cardano videos, they've done extremely well. And the technical analysis has also done extremely well. Now, that's come from many years of learning. You can see some books behind me. That's what we do. We put books behind ourselves to make ourselves look smart. But there is actually real content in these things. So if you haven't watched them, go and do that. Even if you hate Cardano, it doesn't matter. The information in terms of learning how to trade is in those videos. And it is also in the Bitcoin videos, which don't get as much love because I guess people aren't interested in Bitcoin. But it's just learning how to read a chart. You can apply it to anything. Cardano, Solana, Dogecoin, Ethereum, Ripple, whatever it is. You can apply all of that same knowledge to any crypto and stocks. That's the beauty about technical analysis. Let's have a look at the market caps. We're nearly at 2.4 trillion. And as we discussed in yesterday's videos, we did a couple yesterday, the money isn't flowing into Bitcoin because we're in our safe zone trading range. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I've got a video back here, Bitcoin safe zone. Check that out after this video. But the total market cap is increasing, which to me means there is money flowing into the alts, which is why people are saying we're in alt season. Binance is nearly at 100 billion. Dogecoin is nearly at 90 billion. I'm sure it just touched at 90 billion as it passed 70 cents. Tether, okay, who's investing in that? But this is highly traded at the moment, 55 billion. We've got 200 billion on the volume. Crazy how much trading is going on at the moment. XRP, $1.57. I'm going to look at this at the end of the video as well. Cardano, 52 billion, down at 7th place. And some of our favorites down here at Chainlink and Solana has dropped a few places down to 17th at $43. Now, my Twitter account, thank you guys. I know I'm doing a lot of thank yous at the beginning, but I really do mean it. Thank you for getting me to 10,000 followers. I only started using Twitter this year. I'm a convert because of you guys. So thanks very much. Will Dogecoin get to $1 by Monday? 55% of you think yes, 44% of you think no. We've still got a day and a half to go, so get over there, like it up, retweet it, follow, and see whether Dogecoin gets to $1 by Monday. I happen to think no, but who knows what is going to happen tonight on Saturday Night Live. Let's look at the trends. Ethereum, nuts. It is at its all-time high over the last 12 months worldwide. This is the most it has been searched for worldwide. Now, I didn't put Dogecoin in there because it is alarming how much more Dogecoin is being searched than Ethereum, but it is wild. It absolutely destroys Ethereum. If I can use the numbers here, I would think that Dogecoin is being searched double the amount that Ethereum is. Say Ethereum's at 51, Dogecoin's at 100. I think that's how the metrics work. Don't quote me on that. But Doge at 100, and it's at all-time highs as well over the last 12 months worldwide. Now onto some of the news. VanEck files for Ethereum ETF, Exchange Traded Fund. They're looking to work with CBOE, BZX, I'm going to use Z for you guys, exchange on the offerings. The same exchange is providing support for VanEck. So they're looking to do an Ethereum ETF now as well. So this is probably going to take some time, like we're seeing with the Bitcoin. The SEC can have up to 240 days to get back to us about that. This is another reason for Ethereum going crazy. Smart contracts hold nearly 23% of Ethereum supply. So this is up from 16%, so nearly a 50% increase. This is how all the numbers can be played around. They're holding about 23%, and this is obviously putting pressure on the exchanges to supply more Ethereum, but obviously there's not enough out there, which we're starting to see a pretty solid rise in ETH, hitting a recent all-time high of about $3,600 and a few bucks. So this is probably one of the major things again. Not only are ETH coins being withdrawn from centralized exchanges, but they are also undoubtedly finding their way into smart contracts and DeFi applications. So if they're in the smart contracts, if the smart contracts are requiring the ETH to be locked up, then we won't see that ETH back on the exchanges until that period is unlocked. So this is into DeFi, and looking at another article here from founder of Chainlink, talking about DeFi could very well be a $1 trillion market cap, or have a market cap next year. There's two things that I take from this article. Yes, I think it could be $1 trillion. Currently it's at about 80 billion. This is in total locked value. But the other thing is not to get so worked up on these titles. This is still about a 15 or so times in dollar value away from 1 trillion. So from about 80 billion to a trillion, something like 13 or 15 times. And if we get wrapped up in the headlines, then that can really skew how we trade. And of course, we need to work with the charts first and foremost when it comes to cryptocurrencies that have market data. Stuff that doesn't have data that's new, it's a few weeks old. Sure, you can't use technical analysis on that. But for this stuff, the way I work it is not to get swept up in the headlines, although I think it can happen in the future. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow, but that's generally how retail traders will trade. It's going to be $1 trillion tomorrow. That's why we see skyrocketing prices, and that's why we see massive, massive corrections, because what happens in the market doesn't actually lead up or hit that expectation of $1 trillion. Grayscale, and they've reached 52 billion. They have more than 650,000 Bitcoin under management. Of course, all of their figures, all of their assets under management continue to increase in value because cryptocurrency is increasing in value. The main thing that I want to see that's increasing is their actual holdings of the cryptocurrencies. And we often get figures on how much Bitcoin they actually hold or how much they're buying. In this case, they got 650,000 Bitcoin, 18.7. So 600,000 is a fair chunk of that. That just shows that we are still in a bull market. In my opinion, of course, people are still buying up, especially when I see Ethereum Classic remain their third largest holdings. It's a crypto that does nothing. There's nothing being done on it, development, anything, right? But it's a legacy coin and people know it. And they think, if you're asking me questions on Instagram about this, hear this now. Ethereum Classic is not ETH. One is not going to catch up to the other. I firmly believe that. I could be proved wrong over decades, but in this cycle, I highly, highly doubt Ethereum Classic will get anywhere near Ethereum, just because you've got stuff being built on Ethereum and being used, nothing happening on Ethereum Classic. The name just messes with people. That's all it is there. Let's have a look at Citigroup looking to get ready to go into crypto as Goldman Sachs wades deeper. So now we're getting this big battle going on with all of the big banks. Who's going in first? Who's coming next? Who's going to get FOMO to come into the markets? The main thing that they care about is not losing their banking licenses. And look, I don't know what happens at this end of the scale with the biggest banks in the world, whether they can actually lose their banking license over this. I would think they need to get more profits for their shareholders. They'll do everything they can to get their customers into cryptocurrency, but they will take their sweet ass time if they need to. They just need to see who else is doing what in the market. Is Goldman Sachs getting heavily into it, or are they just offering some BTC-linked derivative that not many people are trading? And so they're going to protect their licenses first and foremost, rather than actually care about the whole cryptocurrency trading space. That's the way I read these sorts of articles. They don't really care. It's just we need to make money because the other banks are now making money. And this is what happens later into the cycle as well. Not talking about cryptocurrency, but in terms of the land cycle. I'll talk about that in future videos, but if you guys have been following some time, I'm looking at a peak for property prices going up until around 2026, maybe a little further, but at least until 2026, we are going to see skyrocketing property prices. I'm almost guaranteeing that the way I see the market, despite all of the naysaying crap that we hear in the cryptocurrency space and the precious metals, these guys have got it all backwards when it comes to the overall cycle. This is on Dogecoin. So Elon Musk on Saturday Night Live. Essentially, you can now bet on the price of Dogecoin hitting $1 by Monday, which is why I put it on my Twitter here. What are we going to see here? We've got 300 votes so far. What will it come out to be by Monday? The odds are pretty interesting. Now, if you bet $100 for Musk talking about Doge, then you would make $20 if he does. On the other hand, betting $100 against that he talks about Doge, you could win $900. So there's bigger returns in him not talking about Doge, but I think he would probably talk about Doge, which is why the odds are so short in this way. But that's only a 20% gain. And I think Dogecoin would probably do more than a 20% gain if he was to talk about it. Plus, I would still be holding my Doge. So I don't see the point of betting on this. I would rather go and buy $100 worth of Doge because I think I'm going to make more than 20%. And if I don't, then I still hold the Doge. But in this case, I lose the bet and I lose my $100 straight up. That's it. That's as simple as it is. 25% of American crypto investors see Dogecoin as the new Bitcoin. This is getting wild in the bull market. A recent survey revealed that 1 out of 4 Americans see Dogecoin as the future of cryptocurrency. Well, I mean, they're hearing about it from Elon Musk, as it says here. They're talking about Elon is the first time they ever heard about Dogecoin. They researched a sample size of 1,000 individuals familiar with the crypto industry. That might just mean they hold $10 of Bitcoin. Apart from that, I think this is probably a good sign that we are getting pretty deep into the bull market when people believe Dogecoin is going to be the future of cryptocurrency. I don't have anything against it. You guys know that. I love it. I have my Doge shirts. I have shirts for Izzy to wear the Doge logos. But at the end of the day, it's not a Bitcoin. It's basically like a fun lottery. It really is just a fun lottery. Cardano creator, but it is going to the moon. Don't forget that. Cardano creator says Dogecoin is an existential threat to crypto space. So Charles is raving on again about Dogecoin. If he did less raving about Dogecoin and more building on Cardano, maybe people would want to go to Africa more than they want to go to the moon. Just saying. Anyway, I happen to agree with Charles here. The only way you get rich with Doge is if you take Dogecoin and you sell it to someone else. It's that the fool theory, whatever that is. Basically, you are buying something because you think someone else is going to buy it off you for more down the track. If you look at it, distribution of the coin, 90% of the holdings of Dogecoin are held by less than 1% of the participants. Think about that as the price goes up. The majority of the holdings are held by 90% of the people. Sounds kind of like the fiat traditional system, right? Big one here. Let's move on. FTX, real stuff that's building in the real world. That's all fun. This is all real and fun. FTX CEO on 19-year Miami Heat sponsorship. So FTX exchange, big exchange. I'm wearing my Blockfolio shirt. They also bought Blockfolio. If you guys want a link to this, it's in the description down below. You can trade on the app, just simple trading, very easy to use for beginners. And you can track your portfolio on there. Really nice interface. And I show it on my Instagram for the last 5 months. I've been using it for years, and I show my portfolio of my retirement fund. So go and check it out on my Instagram. Follow the Instagram. Keep up to date. Ask Q&A over there. I've got the Blockfolio competition that I'm doing with another couple of guys here in Australia with Justin and Ravi. We're trying to see who's going to win the competition, who's going to have the best trading platform or the best trading account by the end of the month. Currently, I'm up about $900, so about 9%. We're about 1 week into the competition now. So 9.5%. I'll screenshot it, show you guys over here and on Instagram. So keep up to date over there. Hopefully, if we win, then we get $20,000 to share with a charity in Australia. So the point here is his investment of $135 million is over 19 years, but I think it's going to be returning him a lot more than 135 million. And these are the sorts of bets that Sam puts on. Sam Bankman-Fried confirmed that his company's Heat deal is for 19 years. So they're going to call the Miami Heat Stadium the FTX Arena, I believe, FTX Exchange or FTX Arena. That's where the Miami Heat's going to be playing all their games. So for 19 years, it's going to be called the FTX Arena. And that is, to me, in my opinion, obviously great return. Spread it over 20 years, 140 million is like $7 million a year. Pretty good return to get your name out there in such a big way. So he's a very smart guy. I'm talking about this a bit in more detail because they're also backing, well, his company Alameda Research also backs Solana, which is a big project that I've talked about on the channel a fair bit, and also done a deep dive here. Check that out, Solana, Ethereum Killer, that video. Also on top of that is Serum and Radium, which are built on the Solana ecosystem. Getting involved in that, I think this stuff is going to be absolutely massive. I think FTX is probably going to get up there to be very firmly the number 2 exchange. Maybe it even overtake Binance at some point in the future. You're playing with guys with big money and big brains. They know what they're doing, so they definitely have more smarts than I do. I'm happy to back someone that's smarter than I am. Ripple's case looks like it might be getting a little bit closer to some sort of resolution for them. It looks like they might, or the SEC, it looks like they might be losing their grip. At least the article states here, the SEC case is crumbling. According to many in the community, the XRP community, of course, these are reinforcements brought in as the SEC's case is crumbling. I'm bringing this up because we're going to look at XRP on the chart in just a moment. In this case, the XRP community argues that the new board member must have done their research. So the SEC has brought in or recruited 2 more veteran lawyers from Chicago to help with the case. And they're saying, well, they need help. They're crumbling. Now, Ripple has brought in a former US treasurer to its board of directors, and the XRP community says, well, they wouldn't come in if they knew our case was going to crumble. So I'll take that with a grain of salt. But like we know, the charts tell the real story here. This is the XRP chart. We have bounced off 50%. So you guys know 50% is a very strong resistance level. We're at 50% on our fib extension. So this is that red line diagonal, then down. We're anchoring it to a low and a high. We're measuring this range, projecting it from the low to get price targets in the future. That's what we want. We want to know some areas where the price might get rejected at. And then we have the major 50% at $1.80. Major 50% is the top at $3.50, anchored to the COVID crash low. 50% comes out at $1.80. We're expecting a rejection at 50%. We're not saying that the trend is over, but you have to expect a rejection at 50%. Now we're seeing it hit 50% again on the major price range, the major fib, and then the fib extension, which gives us a price target projection. So both 50% are being hit. We break through that, we are going pretty solidly, pretty strong. We get through really strong resistance, then it can go harder as we break through. And so the next target is a simple one of $2, but I think $2 will get cleared out very easily, and then it will be around $2.20. And then after $2.20 is 100%, which is $2.65. So somewhere around that $2.20, $2.60. So I'm going to go for $2.60. But I think we're going to overextend on this one and probably get somewhere around the $3. $3.10 is our 125%. Above that is our 150%, and that's at $3.50, which also has a price cluster with the old all-time high around $3.50. So they're my targets for XRP. First is we need to get over this 50%, which is $1.80. I think that will happen, although the volume is dropping. Going to keep a look at that. We've got 2 more days left to go. Volume's dropping. Maybe we sit around for a little bit longer because this is a very strong rejection level or a resistance level. It's okay if it takes some time to wind up. We've seen it happen on Cardano. Then if we break through that, I think we'll slice through $2. We've tried it once before, and I think we'll probably slice through it. Then we'll hit around that $2.20. If we can slice through that, $2.60 is my target, between that $2.60 and $3. I think that's a pretty good area considering the fibs that we have here on the chart. After that, if we get some sort of pullback, just a bit of a refresh, doesn't go straight up in a line, remember, we go up, back, then my next target's obviously the all-time high at $3.50. We can come back to the chart once we get some more confirmation about a potential breakout here above the 50% at $1.80. All right, that's the news for Saturday the 8th of May. Be sure to use the link down below, sign up for Blockfolio. Down below, you can trade on there, you can track your portfolio. It's a really nice, clean interface, as you've seen in the video and on my Instagram. I'll talk about some more cryptocurrencies in tomorrow's video, looking at them on the charts. Cardano, we'll look at some Ethereum, see what happens to Doge after Saturday Night Live is premiered, and of course Bitcoin as well. So make sure you stick around for all of those. Like the video up if you found some value from this. Subscribe, bell notification icon. Make sure you hit that. Let me know in the comments if you're here from the notifications. In the comments, your notification squad down below. I'll catch you across my Twitter and Instagram. Until next time. Have more fun to get more done.